Hello, welcome to another sparring drill video. This one's for beginners. I'll show you how to do an obverse punch and a reverse punch while moving forward slightly or backward slightly. Very often in sparring, your opponent's not at the right distance for you to execute a punch. They may either be too far away or too close. So you need to adjust your position. So this means footwork. Now I'm going to show you the footwork needed for today's drills when you're moving forward to punch. So assume that you've got a small stance. You can gain distance by stepping forward with the front leg. Step forward with the front leg, you get a bit closer, and keep your rear foot fixed. There, just pivot with the rear foot. Now, as you punch, you've got to square the body, jerk the abdomen to get your mass behind the punch, and pull the reaction. Okay? So it could be done middle or high. So jerk the abdomen, and then you can retreat again. Okay? So practice this on a target pad, and make sure you use your first two knuckles to hit the target. And avoid bending the wrist because you could injure yourself. Keep the wrist absolutely straight. So that was a reverse punch. To do an obverse punch is a little bit more tricky because you've got to twist this way, which is against your stance, and it's a little bit more awkward. But if you do a short, sharp, jerky movement, then it can be done quite easily, like that. Okay, so keep the shoulder back as you're approaching, and then just jerk it forward for the punch. Okay, so from here, like that. And practice this on a target pad. Notice you can gain extra distance if you slide a little bit. So if the opponent's far away and you cannot get reach with just a step, you can slide. Okay? But be careful when attacking from a bigger distance. You're just a little bit more vulnerable. Now we're ready to practice a combination of obverse and reverse punch. You can do it the other way around, but it's much easier for beginners to do it this way round first. Okay, so from here, you slide forward for the first punch, and then you turn in for the second punch. And when you do a combination like this, the initial techniques are just to set yourself up for the final technique. That's the one that's going to have the most power. That's the one you're going to focus on. And also you're in a more stable stance, so it's easier to get more power. So from here, you just slide forward and you do obverse, reverse, sliding in, like that. Okay? So practice that on the target pad. If the opponent's approaching towards you, then stepping forward means that you're too close to do the punch. So what you can do is step back with the rear leg and keep your front leg fixed. That way you're moving away from the target, like that. So that way you get the correct distance. Now you can do this reverse or obverse. Reverse is easier, so we'll start with that one. Reverse is easier because you can turn your shoulder in nice and easy, jerk the abdomen, and still pull the reaction, like that. Okay. Now, if you need more distance, you can always slide, but you should do that once you've got used to doing it with just a step. So try that as a drill. You can also go backwards doing an obverse punch, but it's a bit more difficult. You'll need to get the shoulder back and forward, so you need to do a very quick jerky movement, like that, and work the reaction. It helps. Normally, a reverse punch will work better, but it's still worth practicing the obverse punch because you may need to use it for a combination, which we'll do later. So practice this for a while. Now you're ready to do reverse punch, obverse punch as a combination. It can be done the other way around, but it's easier for beginners to do it this way. So as you retreat, you turn in for the first punch, and then bring the shoulder forward for the second punch, and make sure your foot's firmly on the ground so you can generate power in the second punch. So do that fast. Like that. So practice that on a target pad. If you're using this in a sparring situation, you may want to move diagonally backwards to get out of line from their attack. So you move back slightly diagonal, you're out of line, and then you punch, punch. Okay, you can even go the other way, 1, 2. Okay, but we'll cover that on another video. Most of the videos I've done so far are for intermediate level, but I will be doing more for beginners like this one, and I'll put them in a playlist for you. Now, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and click like to show support. So I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.